Hey everybody, it's OCD Mikey. Hey now, what's going on? Look at this, man. Not only did my mop grow out like nuts, you guys turned me gray. Look at that. Oof, aged cheddar. It's not even funny. Anyways, it's quite comical. I think you guys have seen me go from the smooth shave that Shane was making fun of me. I have to post that vid. That was from when I just started and I got a new haircut, and I was talking about it and saying how smooth it was, and Shane put on a ball cap like backwards and made a video in his mirror, and it was funny. He was just like mocking me, right, doing the Mikey. It was pretty funny. I have to dig that up and post it for you guys. It's comical. So okay, so tonight I just wanted to go over. I got you in the shop here. I'm finishing up power cord for Norway, and hey Stig. And so I thought I'd go over something that I read the other day. I was on YouTube, and it was just something one of the other audio guys was saying, and I thought, I think I don't quite agree with everything there, and I'd like to kind of give my view on it. And it was like 5 things or something like that you should always know as an audiophile or as a new person coming into the hi-fi thing. These are 5 things that you should really know before you do this, and avoid the BS or whatever. And I find that this same kind of narrative is, you hear it a lot. There's a lot of things. First of all, there's a lot of things that you'll notice in the hi-fi industry that are repeated over and over again, and you'll hear people saying them over and over and over again ad nauseum. And it's like things like 300 Bs have no highs or no lows, it's just the mids, or Magnapan has no dynamics, or just so many things that people don't even take the time to check out for themselves. They'll just repeat it because they hear people say it. So and some of these fall along in those lines. So I just want to give my 2 cents on some of these things. So the first one is, okay, that you should not like make somebody your sort of guru and listen to them and when you first come into it, let's say, and just believe that they know what is good hi-fi or not. Okay, so that one's kind of like there's a way that I agree with that, and then there's a way that I don't. Okay, and the way that I agree with that is that don't try not to go to like the forums and learn from the forums, because there's so much misinformation in the forums, it's not even funny. And then he's probably saying too, there's like some of these self-proclaimed professional reviewers or whatever that really are just people that just decided to make themselves a hi-fi reviewer one day, and then go online and make a little business out of it or whatever, and that could be very true. For instance, if there is somebody like that, let's say, and they don't have much experience, they might see they might listen to PS Audio, a DAC or something like that, and say, oh my God, this thing is like the end game piece. I mean, let's even make it worse. Let's go down to like, some $800 DAC or something. And, these guys are saying end game piece and like all this stuff. And it's like, oh my God, best I've heard and all this stuff. And it's like, well, but you haven't heard anything, have you ever had, and you ask them about their DAC. It's like the first thing I do when I meet somebody that's a, reviewer supposedly or whatever, I ask them about their rig. Well, what kind of rig do you have? And tell me more. And I can size them up in about 2 seconds, and know pretty much where they are with everything. And it doesn't matter. It's no sign of somebody's better than the other. It just helps me assess where they are with it all. They could be a marketing person, or they could be a journalist, or they could be something else. And I figured out pretty quick, okay, they're not really audiophile. They're in the audio industry, but their skills are more as a journalist or as a marketing person or whatever. So there, I almost say to that thing about like not finding somebody. I could almost argue that in reverse and say, if you want to save yourself a ton of time and money, find somebody that you can trust. Okay, somebody that's an advocate, somebody that can point you in the right direction. Not somebody like, okay, for instance, well, I guess it's all like who you can talk to. It's going to be a dealer, okay? And you're going to have to realize that this is going to be true. The dealer, for instance, I'm a dealer, okay? I'm going to offer you the products I carry. Why? Because they're my favorite products. I've hand chosen. I didn't get stuck with these because nobody else took them, or because, I hand chose the products that I carry. And I did that because I find them best in the marketplace for one reason or another. And I'll get back to that best thing, okay? So let's say I find, so Nat Audio. We'll take Nat Audio, for instance. Nat Audio is, in my opinion, the company that makes the best sounding and this is fact, most powerful single-ended triode monoblocks and tube amps in the world right now. You can't find a single-ended. There is nobody that makes a 160 watt Class A pure single-ended triode with one tube that does 160 watts. That's a single-ended triode. There is no other in existence. Nat is the only one. Okay, so, and it just so happens that it sounds absolutely incredible. If you guys are going to start hitting the shows here soon, I will be touring the shows this summer and fall, when they start doing them, with these Magma new amps. They're these massive, the tubes they're massive, they're huge, and they're single tube. You're going to listen to one tube that is Class A single-ended triode, 160 watts. It'll power anything. It'll power an Apogee Scintilla. It'll power any Magico. It'll power anything Wilson, whatever. It will cook it. It will not meaning it'll burn it up, but meaning it will play it to full tilt, and without any problems at all. And it's an amazing sonic to behold. There's nothing like a single-ended triode that can play and drive a speaker that is like that hard to drive all by itself. Normally you're relegated to these high efficiency speakers and horn type loaded things, and they have a certain sonic. I like them, but it's just different than having some kick-ass single-ended triode doing, killing it. Okay, so I got totally off the subject. Now you also got to take into mind, like, okay, so every dealer is going to, of course, sell you what they have. Okay, now you have to use your common sense. Okay, obviously they're going to sell you what they have because that's their bag of offerings, or their list of offerings. What I would say is, and this is how I think about it, okay? So I'm just telling you how I think about stuff when I go in a dealer or something. When I see a dealer that carries freaking every damn brand that he can, like he's got a 300 long list of components, he's dragnetting, okay? He's just throwing a net as wide and as far as he can to try and snag as many sales as he can. He doesn't give a shit about what is this and that and whatever. You're going to ask him to recommend something, and he's going to ask you a question about what you like, and it's going to come back to you because, and yeah, maybe he'll pick something if he feels that he's going to lose a sale or not. He'll just grab anything. But, there's a reason why some dealers carry very select items and some carry the world, okay? The guys that carry the select items are hand choosing what they carry, okay? They're picking the things that they want to carry. And the other guys are just trying to get as many sales as they want, So just keep that in mind. One guy is probably more intimate with the product than the other one is, okay? And the other thing is, okay, a dealer who frickin' calls you all the freaking time to get the next greatest thing, and every time he calls you, it's the magic deal, and it happens 3-4 times a year. It's the best speakers he's ever heard, and it's the best DAC that he's ever had, and blah, blah, blah. And these guys do this over and over and over and over. It's like, how could they possibly, just think about it, so if you've got somebody that continually calls you and rakes you over just to keep pushing sales, I'm telling you, I'm a sales guy, okay, and I've sold in all different environments, and the hi-fi people, okay, like buyers, they want to be sold. I've never seen a crowd that first of all, aren't offended. It's almost like they appreciate you pushing your stuff on them. I've had people call. I can tell when they're on the phone and the air goes a little soft, kind of quiet, and then they ask me about something. I know when they're waiting for me to sell them. I don't push stuff. I'm not like that, because you know what? It needs to be your decision. Unless you come to me and say, Mikey, look, dude, I don't know enough about this. I trust your taste in music, or not taste in music, but I trust your taste in sound. Okay? This is how you size up who you want to trust in hi-fi, who's going to do you the most justice. You try and determine, what kind of sound does this guy like? You listen to the rigs that he puts up. It's why I keep playing music on this YouTube channel. It's to show you how I can make a room sound. I'm proving to you that I can make a room sound a certain way. If you listen to, with headphones on, okay, and you listen to, over the last 2 years, the sound, how my rig has changed. My rig has completely changed. Right now, it is much better sounding than it was when I first started this channel. You can hear it for yourself, okay? And so I'm showing you, look, the proof is in the pudding. I'm not just talking about this crap. I do it. I buy it. I live it. I listen to it. I know it, okay? So that's just one thing. So find out if your tastes are similar in the how you listen to music, right? If you like it just over the top and like a rock concert and whatever, you're going to like the way I listen. Now, it doesn't mean loud. It just means full-bodied, okay? I do not miss a lick of bass, okay? Some guys don't like bass. They just don't. They want it quiet. They hate bass, I'm not that guy, okay? I go to a lot of live shows, and I know what live shows sound like, and there's a lot of bass going on at the live shows. Same with cymbals. That cymbal is going to permeate through everything in the room and just come straight to you, and hit you right between the eyes. So, determine if the person that you're talking to can create what you like, okay? And the other thing is trusting your own ears, for sure. Okay, trust your own ears. Don't second guess everything you try and determine. You know what sounds good to you, okay? But there's a caveat to that, okay? When you first start out, you don't know what good sound is, okay? So, yeah, you can go out there and say, well, hey, it matters what I like, which is true. But you may like shitty sound because you don't know any better, and then you may be ridiculed when you go to try and play it back for someone and show them how good your sound is, because there is a generally accepted, I know it's subjective, all that kind of stuff, but there is a generally accepted sonic that pretty much everybody says, yep, that's good, and nope, that's not, okay? There's absolutely that in hi-fi. And the majority will know good sound. They'll also know, not good sound. So you need to learn that at first. You have no clue. You don't know what good sound sounds like. You need to find a reference system. That's why going to these shows is a good thing. You go to the hi-fi shows and familiarize yourself. We go to hotels. It's a pain in the ass for us, and it's all done for you guys. Because when you look at the whole, what's in it for us, we have to drag our damn rig halfway across the country and set it up in a shitty ass old hotel room. Actually, they can be nice rooms. When I say shitty, it's because the sonic is bad. They've got air conditioners going in the rooms making brrr noises and stuff, and maybe an elevator or weird stuff. We have to deal with it. We have to set up in a room in like 2 days flat, and then or one even, and then try and get it perfect. I mean, and you see how long it takes me in my place. It takes weeks and weeks to get something dialed in perfectly. So there's no chance we're getting it dialed. Sometime we might get lucky, get it really, really killer at the shows. But look, if you go to a show, you're going to see 100 different rigs, complete rigs, and they're all in their own individual room. You can listen to them. You can find out. Go find out what this stuff sounds like. Go talk to the owners of these companies and determine who is a good guy. But no, for real, some of these guys are complete heads. Others are really cool. And who wants to support a dickhead? I don't. I mean, that's what I did when I first started out. I just went in and went into the rooms, and I'm not going to say one name that sticks out louder than any of the biggest jerk owner, arrogant prick, guy that owns a company that makes real big stuff. And so I was like, man, when he offended me and said something completely rude, I said to myself in my head, I will never buy an amplifier from this guy, from his brand, ever. And I will tell people what a dick he is as long as I live, because what he just said was so uncool and like trying to embarrass me, trying to make me feel like a less than him, that I'm like, okay, dude, you want to play this? Trust me, it's not going to be worth the amount of bad mouthing I do your damn company for the rest of my life. But that's how angry I was, okay? I don't really honestly say that much unless that word comes up in conversation. Okay, so, whatever, it does. And then I'm going to say, that guy's a jerk. I wouldn't buy from him, But anyways, and you might feel the same way. You meet people, okay, you hear people say, oh, Jeff Rowland's stuff's so overpriced and blah, 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 and whatever. Go meet Jeff, man. Go talk to him. See what he's like. You'll be like, oh my God, that dude is so cool. And you'll realize by what kind of a person he is, just from talking to him, if you have any sense at all, you'll realize this is not the kind of dude that rips people off. He's not the kind of person that gets off on hustling people. Now, the other dude, the jack off guy, that guy, totally the kind of guy that just laughs after someone buys a bunch of his stuff. He just laughs, ha, sucker. He's that kind of person. You can tell, okay? So that's another way to sort of get the feeling. You got to get the vibe for the brand, because the brand is represented by the owner usually, or the sales guy, maybe the hotshot salesman, whatever, and you're going to get a vibration for that brand. And that brand is either going to resonate with you and be something cool, or the brand is not going to resonate with you. And I'm talking, this doesn't even matter about the sound at all, because this is deeper than sound, okay? This is like, even if you get it and it is good sound, you're still never going to accept the damn thing because it doesn't resonate with you. And this is true, man. This is vibration. This is energy. This is like energy, interpersonal stuff, and just it's how I operate in the world. It's how I have good street smarts. I know how to tell people. I can tell a lot about a person pretty quick, and so I do the same thing with the hi-fi companies. I will look at the logo. I will just let it vibe to me. I will read some of their marketing, and they're either gonna be talking to me like I'm a dumbass, wet behind the ears audiophile. Then I'm not going to vibe with that company, because look how they're talking to me, or I'm going to be, oh, okay, so these guys are pretty cool, man. They're chill. I'm going to read their marketing, and it's not in insulting my intelligence. Okay, cool. So these guys are pretty cool. And then go in and then look at the product, and then look how the product's built, and I can get up close and I can see, did they cut corners or did they not cut corners or whatever? And then I get kind of a whole kind of scope, and then I try and talk to the owner or the founder or somebody from the company that's been there for a while and ask them about the brand. Tell me more about your brand. Dude, they're just going to go off, dude. All you have to say that, and they're just going to go blah, 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 blah. They're going to talk and talk and talk. And just get the vibe for the brand, get the vibe for the person, and then you can listen to the music. If everything passes, right? Let's say it all passes, then you go listen to the music, okay? Then you go sit down, because everything's passed. Okay, cool. Everything's good, and then let me hear their music now and see if they have the chops, and most of the time, if everything passes, by the time you get there, they've got the chops, okay? So that's kind of how I size up, and because there are absolutely people that you can totally listen to, and they can tell you it's good, and you don't even have to check, because that they're so right on. I have people like that. I have guru people that are above my level big time, and they're usually founders of companies, or they're engineers and stuff, and I'll ask them things, and I don't have to check anything. I trust them implicitly. If they say something is good, I know it's good. There are other audiophiles like that. Some are clients, and just other audiophiles that I've met, that I know their ear, and I know that they know good sound. Other guys, not so much. So if some guys say something, it carries weight. Other guys say something, it doesn't carry weight. So I don't say don't believe anybody, just only believe yourself, because you don't have enough tools to believe yourself, especially when you begin. You need to count on other people to kind of help you out, okay? And so find somebody that you trust, that you resonate with, that you vibe with, that you think is cool, that you're just like, okay, cool. And then you listen to what they say. And if it makes sense and it sounds good, then you can probably count on what they're saying, And if you've sussed them out, and they're not gonna, if it's a good person, it's a good person, okay? So that's what I say in regards to that. You can absolutely count on people, and I think you should count on other people. If you stay it all yourself, man, I mean, I've been screwed on my own self. I've had something, in my room before I ever measured. I had my rig, and I had all these little things and their tweaks and stuff, and I kept putting more and more in because they kept making it sound better and better, and I thought it was like all super good because I'd put 20 layers of tweak into it, and then I came with Ryan Scott of Vapor Audio, the guy. He's a speaker maker and a freaking meteorologist and a gunsmith and a car reviewer and he's a freaking Renaissance man, evidently. But no, he's a good guy, and he told me, look, dude, let's he came by to show me how to voice speakers, how to do crossovers, and that was great, man, awesome. And so he said, well, let's measure your Maggies just for shits and giggles, because we were working on a different pair. Let's measure your Maggies. Let's see what they're all about. Let's see what's going on in the room. And we did a measurement, and my shit was so off that it was like embarrassing to me, and it put me into sort of a little dick in the dirt type thing. Like, I was like depressed. I was like, man, I can't believe like what a idiot rube I was. I thought these were all great, and it's look at the curve. It's all over the place, and I'm not hearing good sound, and I thought I was. So you can fully fool yourself, if you don't know any better, into thinking that crappy sound is good. And there is crappy, you could say it's inaccurate music, right? Because maybe it's not crappy, maybe you love inaccurate music, which is okay when you're by yourself. But if you start inviting guests over and you're trying to impress people with your system, it might blow up in your face if you're not referencing out to other people that know more, or going to listen to systems that are vetted and really good. For instance, my system, okay, I'll put it up against any, and I'm not kidding about that. At this point now, I'm entering the world class. I just in this last month, I can truly say my rig is at world class level. It's at baby world class level. I just entered world class. There is an end of the tunnel. Okay, this goes into the next part of this whole deal of one of these sayings. One of these sayings is that you can never find something that does it all. Bullshit. Okay, I've got it. Okay, I'm listening to it right now. There's nothing else I desire. It took care of all the weirdness in my rig. It was like, how did it just do that, man? Okay, and I have my theories, and I'm not going to go into that now, but it's sorted, okay? And it is to the place now where I can absolutely, I know that my quest is going to end. I see it. I know it's here. I know exactly the amps I'll have. I don't care about amplifiers anymore. I know exactly what DAC I'll have. I could give two shits about somebody's DAC, okay? It doesn't matter to me anymore because I've listened to hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of DACs, and I found the one that did something that not any other could do, and that was to get everything right, okay? It can do the most lucid, three-dimensional holographic soundstage with the most immediate immediacy to it, and no fatigue. At the same time, it sounds so natural and organic, and it has spirit in it. It's filled with spirit. That's really hard to find. It's hard to find something that is defined and detailed so it's three-dimensional and it has soul at the same time, because what happens is you will squeeze the soul right out of it. You will get so detailed and so hyper accurate that it squeezes the soul out, and all of a sudden you've got something that's analytical and dry, and there's no life to it. You hear it and it sounds like all there and everything, but there's no life to it. It doesn't sound like it's human. It sounds like it's just something reproduced. So that is a good way, as a matter of fact, to judge a rig, is not go by your ears. It's to go by your feelings and your thoughts. What are you thinking about? This is what I did. What are you thinking about when you're listening in that rig? Okay. I started thinking about the music all of a sudden. I became really intimate with the music. Like I was really wanted to know, what year was that? Where were they in their band's life, thing? Who were the people in the band? Who was that damn, vocalist, and how does he do that, and what's his deal, I mean, just all these questions about into the music, man, like, just totally, and I don't give two shits about the rig anymore. It's like, it's in the back of my mind, and the music is totally in the front of my mind. That's a dream come true to me, okay? I am totally getting everything I want, having my cake and eating it too. I've got a wicked rig, and I am totally connected to the music. I don't need to worry about the rig, and I don't have this incessant, continual judgment of the sonic going on, which is how I normally listen to music. It's always, I can't shut it off. I'm always analyzing. And then I'm hearing shit because I hear the anomalies. I can hear them. And I don't know where they are. I know I hear it, and I'm like, where is that? Where can I ferret that thing out? Is it in the DAC? Is it in the tube? Is it in the cable? Is it in the grounding thing? Is it in the isolation? Is it in the room? Man, you drive yourself nuts doing that stuff, but that's the life of an audiophile, man. You're trying to figure it out, because I've come to the conclusion it's like digital, especially digital, but reproduction of music, it's unnatural, okay? So it's plagued with errors, especially digital and converting to digital and so forth and back. It's plagued with errors, and you have to compensate for these errors. And when you compensate for the errors, you make new weirdness, and it's not natural. So we're trying to hear this thing and pretend it's natural when we're recreating it, and it does not sound natural. Okay, there's always some little weirdness going on, always. And I find it, man, and it keeps getting better, and it keeps better because you keep finding those damn things. Well, I'm telling you, that has stopped. And I know where it's going to go from here. I know exactly where it's going to go from here. I know that I have to still do grounding. Grounding has not been done yet, and I've got a wicked ground set up, and I have not even started tapping my components with the extra ground cables that'll go there. And then I can go, and I'll go inside. I'll go from the outside of my component, and I will go and take wires down to certain parts of the circuit, and then put them all to star ground. And I've heard that, like, it's revelatory. Like, you could put like a damn Fisher Price thing in there, right? Just some piece of crap. And if you do the grounding to that degree, it makes it so quiet and so beautiful that like you could have anything in there. The gear is irrelevant. I'll test that theory and see. That would be cool, because then I can sell all my stuff and get a bunch of dough, get a Porsche, shit. So, so I know where I have to go. I know where it is now. Right now, it sounds better than it ever has. Okay, and if I go behind the rig, my cables are all on top of each other. They're not even routed. They're just thrown on top of each other. They're inducing magnetism into one another. It's all on the carpet. It's not lifted up off the carpet. It's like, and then there's a slab underneath, and that has an effect. It's like a capacitor. So when I'm got everything dialed, all the cables will be perfectly routed up off the floor on a static dissipative, holders, and everything will be grounded. I'll have a transformer that's going on the outside that will isolate my dedicated panel, which is a switch, a breaker panel. It will isolate that from the outside AC. So the AC that's coming in off the line will be decoupled from my rig. Right now it's not, and pretty much for anybody it's not. Now, even if you're going through the power conditioners, it's not quite the same as having just like a 7 kilowatt humongous transformer that is on the outside of the house right before your feed comes in. So it's so I know there's levels that of more to go. So I guess what I'm getting at here is you can absolutely have it all, okay? And there are pieces that do it all, okay? They're not the inexpensive pieces, okay? Nothing does it all for cheap. Why would it? It just wouldn't. The people that are making these things know what they're selling. They know what they're designing. And when they come up with something like that, they're going to price it accordingly because it's worth it. And all the time that went into the design, So you can't judge it by looking at the box. You can't judge it by looking inside. You can get an understanding of sort of how it's built, and you can sort of take cues and stuff. but you're not getting the whole story. You have no idea how much design went into that. There is an end to chasing your tail. Okay, I will prove this, and I'm getting close. And then we will do OCD. It's either a toss-up. We'll start going after the rig is finished. We're going to go through like hundreds of tapes. I've got hundreds, 300, 400 original recordings from the 1970s, early 1980s. A bunch of them are not even labeled, so I don't know what the hell they are. So it's going to be like an Easter egg hunt. You guys will be with me. I'm going to bake them in the dehydrating oven so they don't stick up and gum up the heads on my reel-to-reel machine. And then I'm going to play these things back for the first time. We're going to hear them together. We have no idea what they are. They could be anything, you know. This recording studio was in Los Angeles. These tapes are all from LA area, late 70s to early 80s, and they're all original recordings. No one else has these. You've never heard them before. They're not the album masters, or they're not the album recordings. These are unique, and you know, they're studio outtakes, practice sessions, practice reels. They are demo reels. They're just stuff that's just, none of it's released. So if you hear any of it and you recognize the band or you recognize the song, it's not going to be the one that's on the album, most likely. It could be, but it's rare. And it's not going to be any complete albums that are already put together, you know, that are on the tape. This is all a bunch of unique and cool stuff. So we'll do that, and we're going to see if I'm able to maintain just a music thing, we'll stick with that. If not, it will go into OCD connoisseur guy. You come to me, okay? I have people that come to me. They get it. Some people get it. And they just come to me and say, Mikey, dude, look, I need a rig, you know, and I don't want to deal with this. You know, they started trying to learn about it, and they just got way too fed up, or they just didn't even want to start. They don't even want to start. They took a couple looks at a forums or something like that, and they're like, nah, I need somebody that knows their shit, that can take care of me. And so you can come to me and say, and people do, Mikey, look, set me up with a rig, you know, just tell me what to get. Here's what my budget is. Here's what I'm trying to do. And then I'll ask them questions. I kind of interview them, you know, well, what do you want this for? How is it going to be used, you know, and what kind of music do you listen to, and how do you listen to it, and whatever. And then you don't even have to learn about hi-fi, you know, and I'll set you up completely. Now that is even not only just for highfalutin clients, but it's for right off the cuff people that are brand new. I have different levels of rigs, and pretty soon they'll be on the website. I didn't just plop in as an expert. I am definitely expert level at this point, but I didn't just plop in that way. This is 20 years of experience going hyper every day, you know, wigging out and tweaking and trying different things and buying everything under the sun to try it, and then, you know, just borrowing other stuff and going to shows and flying to different countries and listening to different things and learning from, you know, like real gurus, you know, Jeff and Roland and Mark Levinson and Nelson Pass. I mean, I talk to these guys and I ask them questions like about things that I'm wondering about, you know, and they have great insight. They've done it twice as long or more than I have, you know, and so find some people you can trust. And go for it. You can trust me, and, you know, put me to the test. Find out, test me out, you know, try me, test me, see if I mess up, because I don't, you know, I mean, my intentions are good. And really that's why I'm here. I don't take any money from YouTube. What I want to build a atmosphere, which is my website for the tribe, the Hi-Fi tribe, where it's just a cool place. You know that if you come onto my website and you come there, and that you're not going to be flogged by idiot bozos, okay? You're not going to be messed with or made fun of like they like to do in the forums, make you feel like shit. Then that's not going to happen in my environment, or people will be taken out of there and they won't be part of it. The deals that you guys will get will be deals that are better than I would do than they will do normally in the industry. I mean, it would be something like, let's say I wanted to put something on sale, and that's why I call it 11, because it's one. There's a couple reasons. One, I'm one more. Okay, so I go to 11. All the shit that I put together goes to 11. It's all overbuilt, and there's a reason, because it goes back to that durable thing. But and so I'm kind of an extremist in that nature, but I have good judgment, you know. So 11 is one louder from Spinal Tap, right? Okay, goes one louder. Well, so I go one more, and then I give you guys one more in terms of, let's say there's something and it was going to be, a certain price that I would put it on sale for online to just anybody. Well, I'm going to give you guys an extra. What I call it is, I say it's one more stacked in your favor. So you know how when you're like doing a negotiation with somebody, and in your mind you're judging and you're determining, is he getting the better part of the deal, or am I getting the better part of the deal, or is this fully on the level and it's like we're both perfectly even? Well, what I do is I start with the both perfectly even thing, okay? And then I go one more to your guys' side. I give you one more measure, whatever that measure is, but I will give something more than I would normally that I think is fair. I'll go one more than fair towards you guys. I think that's all I have to do, combined with being honest and providing a killer product to be able to get more customers and just garner customers. Otherwise, it's going into, trying to do these marketing things and all that crap. I'm not going to play the game. I don't like playing the game. What I'm going to do is I'm creating my own atmosphere, a Mikey style atmosphere where people are going to get hooked up with how you can learn. If you want to learn about it, you can learn about it. If you don't want to learn about it, I'll do the whole damn kit and caboodle for you, and you just sign the check. So but it's about giving back. It's about honoring hi-fi and music, more importantly, and being cool and doing something that the industry doesn't do. Industry always has it stacked in their favor, for sure, and a lot of times it's more than just one measure in their favor. The vision and the goal is to create a place that it's obvious for us, and that when you come there, that okay, this is a safe zone. I can buy anything on Mikey's website. None of it's a ripoff. None of it's going to get, all of it is a value, and all of it is going to be kick-ass. It's all going to be kick-ass for one reason or another. And you'll see, I have one DAC that is the reference DAC. I have one, like, $10,000 DAC. I don't have more than one. I have one $5,000 DAC. I have one $2,500 DAC. I only have one representational piece from each different segment. I don't, and that's because I just choose what I think is the best. So here we go with the best thing. Okay, there for sure is the best. Okay, you can't unilaterally say something is the best in a wide stance. Okay, like across the whole market. You can, however, say, in my opinion, this is the best DAC. This is the best R2R DAC that is $10,000 or less, or between $5,000 and $10,000. This is the best performing one. Okay, of course it's opinion, but we're entitled to our opinions. So you can say a damn opinion. It doesn't matter. It's an opinion. So my opinion is this is the fucking best one, man. And don't get all panties in a bind because I have an opinion. So it's like, that's it. That's it. I've chosen the one that I think is best. And hopefully you know me well enough to know my taste, my pickiness, my eye for detail, my ear for detail, whatever, to know, okay, man, if Mikey says it's awesome, I don't even have to second guess it, because I know he's not, what do you call that? Fluffing. It's called, I'm having a brain fart, and it kind of feels good. It's like, embellishing. There it is. Embellishing. I don't embellish on stuff, man. I might say, if someone's really getting into, like, what is that thing about, I may say something really out there a little bit, but that's just to let you know that's how I feel about it. It defies the human language. I can't really explain it because it's beyond the limited human language to just to tell you, what it's doing, or whatever. But I'm not going to say, it's, if I say it's end game, that means that's the single one piece that does it for me, and I can die with that piece. That's the end game. That means I can die with that thing, and there isn't going to be. That's it for me. I can walk away from the industry now because I've found my end. When I have found my end game rig, then I'm not going to be around the shit all the time at all. I'm going to go do something else. Trust me. This has been an adventure, and it has been a trek, and it has been a journey of getting to that end spot. When I get to that end spot, I'm outie. I'm going to do something else, man. I'm going to go, I don't know, you got Mikey's motorcycle across Europe, whatever thing, who knows? But it'll be something else. It's not going to be, because my hi-fi will be set, finally. I conquered it. I figured it out. I was able to find a rig that chilled my squirrel in the attic. That's another little metaphor I got to tell you about the squirrel. Squirrel in the attic is your mind. I find that the mind is a squirrel, and the thing won't shut up when if there's anomalies in the rig. I can't. The squirrel just goes nuts, and so my squirrel has finally chilled the hell out, and I'm like, oh, nice. I can listen to music. I can just go into the music thing, man. So, anyways, I digress. But there was that. I know I got a little long-winded. It's 45 minutes, whatever. Maybe I'll edit it out. Maybe I won't. I say some swear words in here. It's probably bad for, people clicking and stuff. But again, I don't make any money here at YouTube. I have no intention of that. And that's to show you guys that I'm not here to be some internet star and try and just, get all these clicks. You hear me. I don't ever tell you to subscribe. I mean, I think you should. If you're watching right now and you have not subscribed, I think you should do it. I put a little thing there so I can keep my eyes on the camera. It's weird. I keep looking over at myself over here, but I'm supposed to be looking right there, so it looks like I'm looking at you. They ought to put the damn camera lens in the middle of the freaking display. Why don't they do that? I mean, they can't do that? Then you could look at yourself, and then you would be looking at the person. Wouldn't it just make sense? So, anyways, I guess that's it. And I just wanted to say something. I haven't seen you guys in a while, so I just wanted to say hey and just talk your ear off. And I'll be back tomorrow and the next day with some cool stuff. I got some cool stuff in the shoot. So I will see you. Oh, yeah. I was like, oh, my God, if that thing was not on. But it was. Cool. All right. See you.